Hey guys, Brandon with Whiskey River, and it's Whiskey River Weekly. So we got a couple things that I wanted to update you on. Got card scrapers in. These are $17 for a set of three different shapes. These are American made in Chicago by DFM Tools, and yeah, they're laser etched with our logo on them. Pretty fun, great for handle work. Obviously, if you do trim work, cabinetry, anything like that, they come in handy as well. So check those out. If you haven't used a card scraper, it's only $17. I recommend buying one, checking it out. There's a lot of YouTube videos on how to use them and how to sharpen them and things like that. So there's that. We've got a vintage auction and a council tool auction that are both live and ending on April 29th. Now, I have a couple of the pieces that I like from this auction that I brought up to show you. So we've got a pick head that is a no-name, but in really, really good shape. And it's kind of like a mid-sized pick head. I can't remember the exact weight on this, but it's not one of the super big ones, and it's not a boy's axe. So this one, and then this one's neat. This is a true temper. It's called a Lion, which, looking that up, which I've never seen one of these, it's a full-sized eye, and it was a Canadian hardware store brand that when True Temper bought them out, they kept the Lion name on the Canadian market ones for that hardware store line. So pretty cool piece of history there, axe history. I've never came across one, and it's in really good shape. And then last of the vintage ones is this hewing hatchet, which is just, or hewing axe, which is just on this awesome old handle. It's got some chipping on the bottom, and it looks like it had electrical tape wrapped around it at one point, but I think this handle's still savable if you were wanting to rehang it, tighten it up, and things like that. So, but yeah, nice, large, single bevel hewing head as well. So, and then as far as the council tool auction goes, I don't have a bunch of those. They're all wrapped up and almost like kind of prepped so that they can get shipped out when the auction ends. But this is an example of one. It's a 5-pound splitter. This was a customer return for a defective handle. So we're shipping these just like this, where they have the handle stub still in them. You can drill that out. And if you're looking for a 5-pound splitting head, there's multiples available on this auction. There's some Flying Fox heads. I think there's one FE6. And then there's a pick head, which is a 6-pound made by Council Tool. We bought a whole pile of them in early 2020 and sold them. And this was one that we had left over in the warehouse that we messed around. They were all quarter ground how we got them. So this one we put a grind on it, and then we were planning on hanging it, but I was like, yeah, let's throw it in this auction. So check that out on there. As far as handles go, we have a handle drop next week. Knock on wood, of course. Pallet's actually moving relatively quick, so hopefully it doesn't get stuck in Illinois. Handle drop next week, so stay tuned to the newsletter for that. It's gonna be a little light on the heritage stuff, but heavy on the hatchets. It's time that we restock some short stuff because we've been heavy on the restocks of all the long stuff. So we've got a lot of the hatchets coming back in stock, which we like to keep on the shelf. Obviously, we'd like to be able to keep everything on the shelf, but the 28C and 28C and the 30C are both on the on this load. So I'm heading out to the mill to meet with them all next week. So or not all next week, towards the tail end of next week, and I'm traveling for 6 days doing handle stuff. Gonna be stopping in Ohio and probably picking up some vintage axes off of a friend and hauling those back, flying out there and then driving back. So the goal is to get a bunch of new handle designs finished and kind of start some new ones prototyping. I've got a racing axe handle blank that I just pulled out of a head, and then also I have one that an individual sent to me as an example. So trying to get a racing axe handle put together for the large Tuatahis and things like that, because we've never offered a racing axe handle. They're shaped way differently than our traditional handles, and a lot of them are a lot more chunkier and then also left kind of raw so that you can fit it to however you want. So it's kind of, they're sold straight off the lathe. So that's our plan. Hopefully towards the end of the summer we'll have a handle, racing axe handle available. But yeah, so the casting facility just called on our patterns, so we've got the 32 and 36C patterns finished, and hopefully, fingers crossed, when we pick those up, they will be how they need to be. And we're going to be testing and playing around with that towards the tail end of the week. So yeah, if there's a handle that you're like, wow, you guys should really release that, and it's not one that I just mentioned, drop in the comments. I'd like to hear. We're full force into prototyping new handles, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on something like, wow, this is a handle that the market would really like, and Whiskey River could probably make it, so let me know. Anyway, that is it. So stay sharp and have a good weekend.